First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, to the Venerable Monk Liao-Ming, to Master Sakya Dzogchen, to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and Master Dukden Dorji. And homage to the 3 jewels of the altar and the main deity of the group practice, Guru Padmasambhava. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our special guest today from the Republic of Taiwan, Executive UN, North American Coordination Council, Secretary General Daniel Liao and Mrs. Liao, Dharma Sister Judy. And accountant to Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa. And producers for the Geni Desang Shinton from CTI TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi. And Dr. Lin. And from the professor groups of Tribuddha School, from the National Tsum Kung University of Tainan, Professor Wang Li. And from the Overseas Credit Warranty Fund's head directors, Mr. Wang, and the PR director of the Taiwan Lechang Temple, my brother Fermi Wang, and a professor or Dr. Lu Wenxiang. Good evening, everybody. How do you do?
Selamat pagi. 不是叫 Selamat pagi， 是 Selamat malam。
In Indonesia, good selamat pagi. No, this is selamat malam. Selamat pagi is good morning, but selamat malam is good evening in Indonesian. So today we had the group practice of Guru Padmasambhava, and as we all know, recently we had lots of wars and also epidemic and natural disasters and disasters created by human beings, and we hope that Guru Padmasambhava would be compassionate toward all beings, because he is the founder of Tantrayana, and he had great CD attainments, and we could say that his CD is of the utmost. There is no other Siddhas greater than he is, and we hope that he would be compassionate to transform all the calamities. So for the Homa fire offering ceremony tomorrow, there would be the White Tara Homa. And White Tara is the same as Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. He is very compassionate. And there would be bardo deliverance. First is for the Malaysian Airlines, and second for the Fuxing Airline of Taiwan, and third is to bardo deliver for Kaohsiung, or the gas pipe explosion in Kaohsiung. So in order to perform all these bardo deliverances, my shoulders are getting heavier and heavier. We have lots of calamities happening. There is also an epidemic, gas pipe explosion, trains accidents in Germany. Recently there were trains colliding, and also other disasters. So there is no peace on earth. It is very difficult to control them. So we pray to Guru Padmasambhava to be compassionate toward all beings, radiate light upon the world, so that all the big calamities are transformed to become small disasters, and the small issues transformed to become nothingness. That may all be auspicious. So that we can live this year, the year of the horse. The year of the ram would be next year, but during the year of the snake, at the Tartan Culture Publishing Company, I made a prediction. They asked me, how would the year of the horse be? And in the previous year, I said already that there would be wars, local wars, not World War III, local wars would occur at different places in the world, and there would also be epidemics and also natural disasters and changes. So anyone who heard that, please raise your hand. If you heard I made this statement, please raise your hands. It is a premonition. It's not by me. It was not me. It was not I who spoke. I didn't have the ability to predict the war between Palestine and Israel. I didn't see that there would be the civil wars in Iran or Iraq. But how would you know that there would be wars in the year of the horse? How would you know that there would be Ebola epidemic in Africa? Ebola. That how would you know that there would be Ebola epidemic? It's not that I knew ahead of time. So in the Tartan culture, They always ask me at the end of the year about the situation of the coming year. And if they ask, I have to reply. I could not say, I don't know. I have to know. Otherwise, that would show that I don't have much power. So they always ask every year, and my answer is always accurate. That my prophecies are always accurate. So I have to concentrate and receive guidance that in front of my eyes scenes would appear, like scenes of wars, of natural disasters, of changes on earth. After seeing those, I was able to answer. And there is one of the disciples that notified many of our chapters that what Grandmaster predicted about wars and epidemics, and not to publish them. Like they asked our media to put a newspaper and our Ranteng Enlightenment magazine and our websites. But as soon as I spoke, as soon as I made the prophecies, he posted on the website, so many people knew. Did Tribhuda newspaper published it? How about Ranteng magazine? They always post Grandmaster's talks. Simu said no. It was not published. It was cut because we were going to have great ceremonies to eradicate those calamities, but not necessarily that the ceremonies can eradicate all calamities, because Buddhas and Bodhisattvas can save those who are sick. Grandmaster too has the ability, but they cannot change your faith. Why? Why not? Because the faith is destined, and the fixed karma is very difficult to change, to transform. But like sicknesses can be transformed, but those who are fixed karma are difficult to transform. So you can save them from sickness, but not from their faith. If they are destined to die, they will still die. And if the sicknesses are destined to be able to be cured, then they would be cured, because they are fixed karma and they are the unfixed karma. So there are two kinds, and the unfixed karma can be transformed. For example, if one is able to earn a certain amount of money that's fixed, doesn't matter how hard you work, that's all you can earn. It cannot be changed. But there is an exception. If you have done a great good deed, it would change. Or if you have done a great evil, it would also change your destiny. And other than that, everything else is fixed. It cannot be transformed. So the doctors can only save people from sicknesses, but not from deaths. if doctors can save people from deaths, then the hospitals have no needs for the death services. Not only the patients would die, the doctors too would die. And the doctors maybe die even sooner. Because the ones that are infected first are mostly the doctors. Was it United States had 2 doctors sent back to the United States because they were infected first. When you can cure illnesses, but you cannot save them from deaths. So even doctors can suffer from sicknesses. So in Buddhism, there are the so-called fixed or unfixed. And because Grandmaster had seen the fixed karma, and I knew that those cannot be transformed. Even though Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are very compassionate, but they can save sentient beings, but still they cannot transform the fixed destiny of the whole world. So this is called the fixed karma. So we also pray to Guru Padmasambhava to bless all beings so that we can live peacefully in this year of the horse, at least to decrease the calamities. That would be good. That's my personal opinion. Today is the Chinese Valentine's Day. So I would like to wish that those who are connected or with affinity in this world would finally become together. Someone gave me a joke that has to be told on the Valentine's Day. On the Valentine's Day, the wife told the husband, "Yesterday I had a dream. I dreamed that you gave me a diamond necklace." And the wife asked the husband, "So what do you think about this dream? What would it mean?" And the husband told the wife, "Well, you would know tonight." And the wife was really pleased that her hint is working on her husband. And at night, he brought a box of gifts for the wife. And she opened the box with great joy. And she thought it was a diamond necklace, but it turned out to be a book, and the title of the book is Reading Your Dreams. So I hope that every husband or every man, after hearing the words of their wives or lovers, would not be so stingy like that man. That's not good. You should be more generous. If your wife or lover tells you that, then you should fulfill their wishes. That at least then she would be affectionate toward you, at least for a day or two. So today we will continue to talk about the Great Perfection Dharma. Now we are on point number 10. Number 9 is about turning the Dharma wheel, and that is liberating sentient beings. In the past, Master Dubten Dorji told me, he said, I have turned the Dharma wheel, now it's your turn. So what he meant is I have to start liberating the sentient beings. So how did Master Dubten Dorji find me? One time, the white Tara appeared in front of Master Dubten Dorji and told him that you need to go to Taiwan and find someone with the family name Lu or Lo. In Taiwanese, Seng Yen Lu would be Lo Sengan. In Chinese, Lu Seng Yen. In Japanese, that would be Ro Katsuhiko. In English, that would be Seng Yen Lu. So you have to go to Taiwan to find the man with Lo. And he thought it's one with a different character. And he found several disciples with this name. One in Taoyuan, one in Taipei, one in the central region, and in the southern part of Taiwan. And then he returned to Hong Kong, and White Tara appeared again and told him, you didn't find the Lo Senkan. You didn't find that person with the Lu family name. And then the White Tara told him, he is about to appear in front of you, and he already appears in front of you. So what happened? And then White Tara told him, you made a mistake. The family name was Ro. But the White Tara could also speak Taiwanese. Actually, it's Lu, because that's Ro in Taiwanese. Lo. Lo Sengan, not the other Lo. So at that time, I appeared. And Master Dubten Dorji told me that in the future, I would transmit the Buddha Dharma to you. And in the future, you want to turn the Dharma wheel. I have turned my Dharma wheel, and next would be you. So that's how amazing it was that the White Tara found Master Dubten Dorji and asked him to transmit the Buddha Dharma to someone with the family name Lu. He told me this story personally, otherwise I would know. So I went there because I heard of him and paid a visit, paid respect to him, and took refuge in him. He was my last guru, Master Dubten Dorji. And the 10th would be entering into Nirvana. And what does it mean? It means abiding in the state of ease and aptness. This is the 10th transcendental prowess. There was a Christian minister that researched Buddhism, and he did a research on Nirvana. And his answer was that Nirvana was the same as death. Ting ting, that was death. The Indonesians, selamat pagi, selamat malam, or selamat ulang tahun. And this selamat in Indonesian sound like Chinese. Are you deaf? 死了吗? And I was celebrating birthday in Thailand one day, and the Indonesians sang the Indonesian birthday song. They sang the song, Selamat Ulang Tahun. And it sounds in Chinese like, are you deaf? But in Indonesian, Selamat, are you deaf, means it's a good wish. But in Chinese, it sounds like, are you deaf? That's not a good thing to say in my birthday, but that's what different languages can bring sometime. So the minister did a research on Buddhism, and he researched Nirvana, and he concluded that Nirvana is the same as death. And now you all made the supplication, pray that our lineage Guru never to enter into Nirvana. Then what does it mean? You want me to be in a dream, in a huge dream of life? So actually Nirvana means a lot of things. It does not just represent death, it also represents Buddhahood or livelihood or living, because after death you would come into life again, and between death and another birth that would be called bardo. So bardo is the leftover chi of a human being. In Japanese, it is called oni. And in Taiwanese, it's gui. And in Chinese, it's gui. And it means ghost. In Cantonese, that would be guai. So Cantonese sounds like between Mandarin and Taiwanese. So when you sing, Cantonese is between Mandarin and Taiwanese. See, it sounds like between Mandarin and Taiwanese. So my Cantonese pronunciation would be accurate. How are you? How do you do? Are you fine? So, in a language, nirvana also has many meanings. So in Taiwanese, it would be Liapwat. And in Mandarin would be Nipan. So even when you're awakened, that's also called nirvana. Birth is also called nirvana. Death is also called nirvana. And realization is also called nirvana. Let me give you an example. When you get on bed and fall asleep and you have a dream, you don't know that that is a dream. And then in the morning, all of a sudden, you're awake from your dream and you realized that what you had last night was a dream, and now you're awake So this awakening is called nirvana. So you finally realize that that was a dream, that was not real. So the real one is called nirvana. So it has a real meaning. So anything real is called nirvana. But what you think as real may not necessarily be real. So in your dreams at night, you would think that those were real. But no, they were dreams. When you attain CD in your spiritual cultivation, at that time you would realize, oh, it turned out that living as a human being, that was just a dream. Only then you are considered to be fully awakened, and you are called, it is called nirvana. So when you have a dream at night and you become awake and you knew, oh, that was not real, that was a dream. But one day when you die and you have gained enlightenment, all of a sudden you become awake and you see the clear light radiance. And oh, it turned out there is a real realm, that this human realm is just 100-year-long dream. So that's why I often said that at 1, you are born with merriment. At 10, you focus on your studies. At 20, you're at the top of your youth. At 30, you start your career, earning money. At 40, you started to gain weight. You start to gain weight. At 50, you're in the middle age. You're still strong. At 60, your blood pressure start to go up. At 70, you start to lose your memory. Like Grandmaster now, sometimes would lose some memory. Sometimes that's why I have to ask, what is the name of the airline? I would forget. Actually, I often remember that when I was talking about it, but here, all of a sudden I forgot. But at 80, you start to wobble when you walk. And at 90, you lose directions. Because at 90, when you leave the house, you don't know how to go back. You don't know where your home is. At 100, you would be like the Buddhas. You would be hanging on the wall. When you reach 100, and all of a sudden you awaken, and because you cultivate spiritually, you see the great radiance, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas descend to meet you. Oh, it turned out this is the real one, and my human life is just like a dream. And at this time, it is called, this is nirvana. So it has a meaning about awakening, realization, and it has lots of meanings, not just death. Some people say that after death, everything disappears. That's correct, but there is still a soul and consciousness that still exists. And they can go to the Western paradise, to the Pure Lands, or can attain Buddhahood directly. And you need to understand the wisdom of nirvana. So that's what nirvana is. I want to clarify this. So the research of that minister was only on one meaning of nirvana, and in reality there are many meanings to nirvana. There are many meanings. There is a mosquito that is practicing to fly. Even the mosquitoes have to practice. And after he got home, his mom asked him, "So how did you fly?" And he said, "Oh, it was really great, because I heard everybody was clapping." The mosquito was flying and everybody was clapping, and he thought he was flying really well. That was a mistake, because they were trying to catch him. Buddhists don't kill. But when the mosquito is stinging on you, what would you do? Dalai Lama said this: we don't kill, and he doesn't kill. So he blew on the mosquito. But it didn't go, because my flesh is sweet and tasty, and with a soft skin and fair skin and sweet blood, very cool and nutritious. So the mosquito didn't want to go after you blow on it. So what should you do? So Dalai Lama said, because it didn't go, I didn't say this, because it really didn't want to go, so it is destined that it would die on your hand. So you recite a mantra to deliver it with Om Mani Padme Hum. Slap and it's dead. So please don't misunderstand the meanings of nirvana. Don't think that nirvana is only about death. One day, Xiaoming was sleeping in his class, and the teacher was joking and asked, "So what did Dzogchen tell you?" And Xiaoming said, Dzogchen said, "The technology is very progressive that they could see you even in the daytime." It's nothing to do with technology. This joke is not right. Dzogchen is the son of Zhou Wenwang, the king Wen of Zhou, and this king has 100 children. Actually, it was 99, but the last one was adopted, and he was called Lei Zhenzi. And because there was a thunder, there was a baby in the cemetery. And that's why he had 100 sons. So that's why we wish a newlywed to have 100 children and 1,000 grandchildren. So this King Wen of Zhou researched on the 8 trigrams. So in Taoism, when we research the trigrams, we would invoke the patriarch of the 8 trigrams, Fu Xi, and then King Wen, and then Dzogchen, and then Confucius. So when you play the 8 trigrams, you have to recite these patriarchs. And also the heavenly patriarchs. And Fuxi was the one that drew the 8 trigrams. So all the different trigrams. So heaven, earth, lake, water, fire, mountain, and Qian and Kun. Qian is the 3 solid lines and Kun is the 3 broken lines. So heaven and earth. So together they're called Qian Kun, or heaven and earth. So the 8 trigrams can be used for I Ching to predict the changes of the world. You can do the prophecies based on this, and it's quite scientific. So I Ching, it means the book of changes. So the patriarchs of the 8 trigrams were Fuxi, Zhou of Zhou, and then Zhou and then Confucius. In his old age, Confucius researched this I Ching. 一梦山鬼谷先生，王禅鬼谷先生。Those were the sages. Was also the patriarch, and his disciples were Pang Jian and Sun Bing, as we all know. Mr. Gui Gu. Also have to recite the 2 youths, Cheng Gua and Pai Gua, the one that would listen. And then you shake them, and the first trigram that fell off, the first, second, until 6 of them. And they use the turtle shell to shake them, and then until one of the stalk would fall out. And then after all of them appeared, then that's your faith. So nirvana was about understanding or reading your dreams. So nirvana can also reading the 8 trigrams. So from this 8 trigrams, you want to understand that you need to cultivate spiritually in your lives. Is to correct your own conducts, to walk the path of the goods and not the path of the evil, to go toward yang and not yin. The extreme of yang is to become a sage, and the extreme of yin, you become a demon or spirit. So it has its meaning. So you need to understand the meaning of nirvana is to cultivate spiritually. By cultivating spiritually, you can attain Buddhahood or sagehood. And if you are faithful, loyal, filial, and righteous, then you would become a saint. So loyal, filial, so filial piety can move the heavens. If you can become a filial son or daughter all your life, that would be a great merit, a good karma. In the future, you would become a god. And righteousness, you can also become a god, like Guan Gong. Or Confucius, all his life, he abides by the ethics and uprightness, integrity. So ethics and morals and integrity, then he became a sage like Confucius. And if you help sentient beings like Li Monyang, the celestial mother, Ma Zhu, she also became a saint because she delivered or salvaged sentient beings. So if we know to cultivate spiritually in the future, we can become a sage, a saint, or a Buddha. And spiritual cultivation is to correct our own conducts. So nirvana also has this meaning that you need to understand how to cultivate spiritually. Otherwise, in the future, you may be born as a human being, but if you create a lot of bad karma, you would fall into the 3 lower realms, in hell, hungry ghosts, or animals. If you have done both good and bad, you would be in the human world. But if you do more good deeds, you may become gods or in the heavens. If you're totally young, then you would become a saint, like Li Tongping, or the patriarch Li of Taoism. That's because he has the complete yang energy, and he embodied pure energy, and his whole body is filled with light. So nirvana has a very broad meanings. A beggar asked a gentleman, a kind-hearted gentleman, 2 years ago, you always give me $500, and last year $200, and this year $100. Every time this year, you always give me $100. And the gentleman said, because 2 years ago I was single, and last year I got married, and this year I had a child. So I have lots more expenses. And the beggar was angry and said, how could you use my money to take care of your family? So the beggar was unreasonable. So we need to be reasonable. So the beggar has his own reasonings. So as a human being, we also have to be reasonable. Somebody give you money. That's a gift. And you need to be grateful, whether it's a lot or little. You need to be grateful. You cannot be that because you give me a lot before and now you give me a little and you feel upset. And if you get angry because of this, then you're not right. So although the beggar has his reasoning, but as a human being, we also have to be reasonable. It's like a human reasonings. We would say that the beggar is not right, but in his own mind, he thinks that he is right. But if you are able to discern this, then that would be called wisdom, and it would also be called nirvana. So nirvana also has the meaning of discernment. Nirvana has many different meanings, and I can talk about it for the whole night. So it is very important to understand, to cultivate spiritually. A boyfriend bought an eye drops and dropped one drop in each eye and then turned his eyeballs and then opened his eyes, and he couldn't see anything. And he thought, oh no, is this a poison? And he tried to stand up, and he started to kick things around him and started to cry out loudly. Oh, that was the husband. And then the wife was speaking calmly. You're getting older. Hey, we lost electricity and you became panicked like that. We lost the power. You know, each one of us in this human world, each one of us is like a blind person. And you would say, why? We have eyes and we can see. Why do you call us blind? You know, the one with real eyes, the one, the eyes are closed are them. The Buddhas have eyes. The one that close their eyes up there, the Buddhas have the real eyes. But we are with the open eyes, do not have eyes. Who among us can truly comprehend ourselves? You announce the good deeds that you have done, and then you hide deeply the mistakes that you made, and you cannot admit your mistakes. You're lying to yourselves. So in that case, aren't you blind? So human beings always lie to ourselves and to others. And we have created a lot of bad deeds and they don't admit. Oh, I am really great and I should become a god or become a great saint. Actually, we have created a lot of bad karma and they don't admit it. And they may have done a little bit of good deed and they made it all known. Actually, what we see, actually, we cannot comprehend ourselves, cannot comprehend others, cannot comprehend our own gurus. Some people are upside down. There are many of them on earth. The real blind ones are human beings because you have not gained true enlightenment. And tomorrow, the white Tara is called the Buddha Mother with 7 eyes. 1 here, 2 here, 2 on both hands, and 2 on the soles of the feet. So the white Tara is also called the Buddha Mother with 7 eyes. And she is a true Buddha Mother. So this eye is a true eye. The eyes on the hands, on the soles are true eyes, and these 2 eyes are the blind eyes. These are the physical eyes. So we only have physical eyes. We could only see the fake ones, but not the real ones. Nothing is real. Everybody is seeking after the fake ones. Well, the dollar bills are fake. Someone came to the front of a judge. Why did you print the counterfeit money? And he answered, because I don't know how to print real money. He spoke truthfully. He was caught because he was printing counterfeit money. And being asked, why did you print counterfeit money? He answered, because he couldn't print real money. That was a joke. But you think the dollar bills are money, but they're actually paper. So they give me this offerings. Oh, this time it's really $100 bill. Oh. It was that because I said so, now you're generous? So Franklin, $100 bill. A real $100 bill. This is a real dollar bill that can be used to buy stuff. But I'm telling you, this is fake. It's just a piece of paper. It just there's a Franklin printed on it. And there is a mark of the US government. There's a signature and endorsement by the US government. So what's the difference between the real and the fake one? So if I design something and then print it, and then you would say that it's a real bill with lots of markings. It is real because it is endorsed by the US government. But if you go to the moon, so you take $100 bill to buy a bottle of water, the beings on moon would say, what? This is a piece of paper. It may be able to be used in the US or on Earth, but can you use it on the moon? They would think that this is fake. It's just a piece of paper. A lot of people accept the paper money of True Buddha School, that there is the bill of True Buddha School. So who had the permit to print them? Do we have a checks by True Buddha School? It can be used in the spirit world. So as long as we all recognize it as the real one, then it is the real paper money or the spirit money. So True Buddha School has its own spirit money that is recognized by True Buddha School. That all the spirits, it can be used in the spirit world because it is endorsed by Grandmaster Lu. So let me just give this money. Let me tell you. So anything that's recognized unanimously, then that would be real. But if you only recognize it, then that would be fake. It's the same with diamonds or gold. And if it is unanimously recognized, the value, then that would be the price or the value of that. So maybe on the moon that would be filled with gold, and you take gold there and they would say this is like sand on the moon, so it is it is worthless there. So nirvana has this meaning. So anything that is unanimously agreed upon or recognized, or things that's endorsed by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would be real, otherwise would be fake. So what is real and what is fake? Even the dollar bills are fake. Amitabha Buddha, and at the center is Vairocana Buddha. That one is Akshobha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha is here. You take $100 bill and give it to Amitabha Buddha. Would he use it? It is useless to him. In the realm of the Buddhas, you know, the wealthy ones or the philanthropists like Bill Gates or Ge Taiming, they are very wealthy, but when they go to the Western paradise, they are all worthless. They don't need these dollar bills there. So when you go to the Western paradise, and when you attain Buddhahood, what is real there? Your spiritual cultivation would be real. Everything else about status, position, your wealth, your beauty are all fake. That's fake amidst the fakes. Very fast you become grandma. From a lady to becomes the auntie and then becomes a grandma. And when you're old, what beauty can be talked about? So beauty is also empty. So your wealth, you cannot use it in the Western paradise. It is fake. And your status and position, like Dr. Lu-Ling, he was a judge and an attorney. And now he is teaching. He's also a professor. And he was also a vice chair for the intellectual property division. Oh, what was I talking about? About attorney. There was a joke. There was a minister and a lawyer and a father that went to heaven, and God let the lawyer to stay in a 7-star hotel, and the minister 4-star hotel, and the father 5-star hotel, and the lawyer at the 7-star hotel. So the minister and the father protested. We work for you for many years, and you just let us stay at the 4- and 5-star hotels, and you let the attorney at the 7-star hotel. And God replied, don't you know that there was only one attorney that got to heaven? So he truly appreciated. So this attorney must be a really good lawyer. Generally, lawyers in Taiwan wear black and white, and we just say they turn black into white, white into black. There was an engineer that got to heaven, and he found heaven's not bad, and his friends is in hell. So the engineer went to hell. And this joke, and God protested. Oh, this engineer came to my heaven, and then why did the devil caught him to hell? And devil laughed. He liked hell. He doesn't like the heavens. So because he was an engineer, he designed hell. In hell, lots of entertainments and pleasures place. So God was very angry and asked an attorney to sue him. And the devil laughed even more. Do you know where the attorneys are? All the attorneys are here in hell. So God couldn't find a lawyer, because not many lawyers can go to heavens. This is jokes about lawyers. There is a meaning in this. This is also the meaning of nirvana. How do you discern between real and fake? And who would be the one with the real eye? Any of you who could really cultivate spiritually and walk toward spiritualism, then there would be the real meaning, and then you would be awakened. The rest are just mundane people. Om Mani Padme Hum.